Hi everyone, welcome to this edition of Addington News, brought to you out of the Brick and Winning Owners Bar. Last week, really good couple of wins from a gun trainer, Steve Dolan. He doesn't often bring them to the track and they don't perform.
Yeah, when he comes to the track with those horses, they're generally well supported. They always look good, they generally do the job. So no, good on him, he's got a tremendous strike rate. And the other end of the spectrum, we're going to leave you with a video from last Sunday with a trainer grabbing his first win, but we'll talk about that later on.
Yeah, look forward to that. Bree Express and Arabian Blue were those winners. And it was also good to see Henry Hubert back in winning form. The punters weren't so happy with that result, but John Dunn got to the front with him, dominated from the top end. He had won since the Hannah Memorial of September of last year, so he deserved to get another one.
Yeah, and hopefully he'll make his way towards the IRT New Zealand Cup. Dunn's time, unfortunately, had an injury during that race.
Understand he's had the operation though, and he's coming through that well, so that's a great result.
Yeah, looked after by all of the team on course and the on course vet, plus everyone else, and all reports are pretty good at this stage. So pleased to hear that about Toby.
Yeah, double headers continue this week. Of course, we're back to Friday night racing and a race meeting sponsored by the Plumbers. Now, that's been going on for, I reckon, at least 3 decades.
Been going on for a long time and they have a good time. So all of them contributing obviously to the race sponsorship. There's a big function upstairs. They'll be in spectators after the last, I'm sure. So looking forward to having them on course this Friday.
Now, Jo McMaster, she does all of the events here and she wants us to continue to promote her and her events on this forum. So Matariki coming up, there's an opportunity there for trackside dining. The Silvermoon Ladies Night, there's still a few tickets, not many left there on the 8th of July, so you need to get to addington.co.nz and get your bookings in.
Yeah, plus a David Seymour lunch, which is the 23rd of June. Numbers really good for that as well. So look, all of that information, addington.co.nz, book online. As we say, the Silvermoon Ladies Night, always very popular, and a few surprises that are going to happen on that night as well, so grab a ticket.
You've got a Saac course, explain a little bit about that on the 26th of June.
Yeah, abbreviation for the Stable Awareness course, Stable Awareness Area course for children aged 6 to 14. So you need to be 15 to go into the stables, even if you're a child of an owner or a trainer. And if you're younger than that, then you go through this awareness course just to familiarise yourself with that, and you get a pass and graduate hopefully to a stable hand and everything else. But that course, this one will be a Sunday, the 26th of June. Registrations again online at the racing section of the website addington.co.nz.
A special retirement of a racehorse, her name's Spellbound. She won the Len Memorial here at Addington Raceway at her first start, I'm pretty sure it was. And what happened with this horse was Nigel and Brenda Armstrong, they put together the Witches syndicates and the Westview syndicate, which were syndicates that he's had for a long time, brought a whole lot of people involved, a whole lot of colour to the race meeting, people turning up in witches hats and the likes. And yes, she ended her career in Australia, but gee, she brought a lot of joy to a whole lot of people and a whole lot of new people to the game.
Yeah, look, we wanted to make mention of it, as Greg said, all of those people involved, all of the activity involved, but Nigel especially and Brenda do so much work here at Addington. So passionate about what they do around owners, and I know Nigel and Brenda both involved in the Canterbury Trotting owners now. So we wanted to make mention of Spellbound going to the matron's paddock. I'm sure she'll leave a beauty. It'll be interesting to see what the witches name it.
Yeah, well I understand she's probably going to go to Bettor's Delight, so
not much wrong with it.
Boy or girl is going to be worth a whole lot of money. Preview for this week, give you a couple to follow if you want to get into them and not go through the whole preview with us. David Niven should win the first. Really good run here last week when having to sit parked and a good time. And Exposione, that's what I'm going to go with anyway. One of Mark Jones's first starter. It's in both Friday and Sunday. Not too sure which one it's going to go in. It may very well go around in both of them, but has trolled up quite nicely. So quite like it, and Sports Babe should be winning race number 1 on Sunday. But we're going to go away, get into the preview and reflect on that first winner for a young guy well known to Addington Raceway.
Rightio, let's get into the preview for Friday night. Of course, we race again on Sunday during the day, and as we say, that'll be every week for another 8 weeks or so. But Friday night, race 1, IRT, Your Horse, Our Passion, Mobile Pace, 1980, and we get underway at 5:10.
Yeah, pretty keen on David Niven here. Thought he was excellent last week, had to do a power of work and was still right there at the end. That was in the race won by Bree Express, who I think will go on with it from there. So very big chance, especially if he's able to press forward and perhaps get the lead. I know that there's definitely a big motor there. So if he's able to do that, Robbie Close, it'll be hard to beat. Millwood Melody comes up with the right draw to get some money. Grant Payne, Tim Williams. She's certainly capable, as we've seen throughout her career thus far, with 3 second placings. Kalani Dance is ultra consistent. Mark Jones's team racing very well. Then it was a bit of a toss-up between Splash of Crimson, who's got a maiden in it at least, the filly by Sunshine Beach, and Woodley Jewel, who you never discount a Tom Twiddle run, especially when they're fresh up, Darrin. He always has them ready. So I'm happy to go 5, 1, 9, and then play between the 4 and the 11.
Gee, Mark Jones, he's got a massive team, and it'd be the biggest team I can remember him bringing to Addington, so we really appreciate that. I think he's got 10 or 11 horses in. It's great stuff. Race number 2, first leg of the early quaddies, Silvermoon Ladies Night. Don't forget that date, the 8th of July. It's a trot, 2,000 metres at 5:35.
Yeah, manners still need to be to the fore here, as was the case for Sigrid on debut in a similar 2,000 metre race. I reckon she'll take all sorts of beating. Laura Mackay and Tim Williams combined. I think it's the best bet in the race. The River Boy's an interesting runner. Another one by Creatine. They're just starting to come to the fore, the Creatines, and don't mind the way this one's trialled. So give it an each-way chance from the Tolliman Lodge base of Ken Barron. Blythe shouldn't be too far away. She's a filly by Love You with Jamie Gamerson, who keeps going good races. And then I thought probably looks like a trickster, and Antonov, the one who's a first starter for Gavin Smith. But best bet in the race, Sigrid, race 2, in that first leg of the early quaddy.
Race number 3, the Maiko Plumbing and Bathrooms Mobile Pace, big supporters of Plumbers Night. It's at 6 o'clock, 2,600 metre mobile.
Like absolute dynamite here, ultra consistent in his form line, 1 fresh up, excellent runs since, including that graduation final at Rangiora behind Wheels of Fortune. Did some work last time behind Kikarangi Blue and kept on kicking. So I think he's the best bet in the race to beat the 9, Hale Lucius, who charged home in that same race. That was an improved performance by him. His first up win was excellent for Regan Todd and Robbie Close. And yes, he's got the wide draw, but the 2,600 metres should negate that somewhat. JR Bromack's the interesting runner. Hasn't been sighted for a couple of years. Don't mind the way he's trialled. He's trained by Ken Barron, has Blair Orange, and Ruby's a Delight was luckless last time. Her form has been nothing short of outstanding, and from barrier 1's going to get an economical trip again. 6, 9, 2 and 1 in the third.
Race 4, the Harrison Bloy Mobile Trot, 1980 at 6:30.
Under and Over's first up win was good. Always also had a wee bit of time for, even though he's only won the 2 races. Wouldn't need to improve much off that. Trained by Trent Yearsberg, has Gavin Smith and has the barrier draw. Simone Lindeni will come in for some really strong support. She's a mare by Love You for Brad Williamson. The third at Ashburton I thought was good behind Res, who's just flying at the moment, as is the Fox. It's won 2 of its last 3 starts, had that long time away from the racetrack. A lot of sentiment involved with this horse, but it'll go another cracking race, especially from a handy barrier draw from behind the mobile. Franco Yorick and Eurocash are both out of the Hope Barn. Not much between them in this race. I'd probably go for Franco Yorick over Eurocash, but 1, 4, 3 and 8 for me.
Last leg of the early quaddie, race 5, Chester's Plumbing and Bathroom Pace, a standing start, 2,600 at 6:55.
Yeah, Exposione is the way I'm going to say it. I'm not too sure what Matt Cross will come up with, probably something completely different. But what I do know is this filly by Better's Delight can run. In on Sunday too, so just wait and see which one Mark decides to go around, and if indeed he might go around them both. Treat it like a 2-day carnival. The trials have been good. Last start over Mr. Lincoln, who's a race rival, and it has been placed on race day. So all things stack up there for me. Star Magic, Gavin Smith. This one by He's Watching, nothing wrong with its third here behind Yankee J, actually charged to the line wide out on the track. So I give it a good chance with natural improvement. Bodine Quickstep was second at its second start, trained by Colin and Julie DeFilippi. I'd probably forgive it last time. It really wasn't in the race, and yeah, that second up was a strong form line. And then I went with the 12, Pretty Boy Kobe, who's from the Greg Manson barn. We'll talk about him very shortly because his smart horses are lining up again. So the numbers 6, 8, 9 and 12.
Race number 6 is the BC Plumbers Mobile Trot 1980 at 7:25.
Yeah, tricky little race this, but I don't like tipping maidens who had their first start and won and then go straight up in grade. But Albizia was excellent here on Sunday. Actually was far too good for them. And I don't think he pulled the earplugs either. So there was a little bit in hand, and she's got a bit of breeding, mentioned before the creatines. I'd love to see this horse go back to back. It won't be easier if it keeps doing that because it keeps jumping up in grade, but it does take on Navarra, who's a 5-race winner. Navarra's got the outside of the front row. Can't do it alone. Forget its last run. Prior runs were really good. And then Agui's a horse that I bet you over the next 3 to 4 weeks, Agui will win at least a race. Keeps going good races without a lot of luck, and don't be surprised to see it put its hoof in the tool once again in the 6th. But I'll go with the maiden winner, Albizia, to make it back-to-back wins from just 2 starts.
Race number 7 is the Plumbing World Mobile Pace 1980, and it gets underway at 7:55.
Darrin just about ran out of ink in the pen, because the numbers, once you start writing them down, you're going to have to keep writing them down. Gee, this is a deep race. This is the race of the week, and so many winners are going to come out of it. The depth, both race day form and trial form, is, it's very deep. Let's just say that. Inside draw for Akiro Raider, nice trial performance, beat race rival Jimmy James Maguire, did it in good style and reasonable time, and won its previous trial as well. Door contracting race this one, and they're great supporters of the harness game. So from barrier 1, I just give it the nod. Shell Shock's placed its second 3 of its starts. No reason to think that it won't go another very good one here. Probably just doesn't have the gait at times, but is getting stronger with racing. Love the way Major Talk trial. Found the line strongly. It's out of Real Talk, who won a handful of races and was smart. Again, this is from the Mark Jones team. He has a very strong hand on the race night. Live On Legends trialled up really well. Howling Wolf's done nothing wrong in 2 starts to date. Jimmy James Maguire I mentioned before, and I reckon Eastwood Dream can win a maiden. So do you want me to stop? Probably 1, 6, 7, 4.
Great maiden field. Race number 8. First leg of the late quaddie, of course, 8, 9, 10, 11, because we've got 11 race program, so don't forget about that. Myco Plumbing and Bathrooms Handicap Pace, 2,600 at 8:25.
Yeah, can he keep winning? Franco Marek, he's 4 from 4 this campaign. Greg Manson's keeps picking out standing start races because he wants his horse to settle. He believes he's got a free-for-all on his hands, and it's hard to argue with him at the moment. I understand this will be his last run in this campaign. Freshen him up, bring him back in the spring. Maybe it's not a forlorn hope to think he might be in the IRT New Zealand Cup. If he keeps on winning, it's the exact path he'll be going on. So he should probably win again. He takes on Heisenberg, who's just there or thereabouts at the moment, but can win one of these races soon. Warlock, we keep talking about, running amazing sectionals on the herb, and he'll get the right run one day. Interesting off the front for me, Braveview Kelly hasn't had a stand, actually hit the line beautifully last week, not without a chance if she copes with that. Serious Moonlight has had standing starts, but hasn't managed to get in the money thus far from 2 starts. And then last of the Mohicans had 2 workouts, won both in slow time though, but loves a standing start. It's a good race, but I think Franco Marek will win again.
Race number 9 is the Dux Industries Mobile Trot 1980 at 8:55.
Yeah, like Spider Moment here. First up run, very, very good. Don't know what happened last time. Just never really got itself into the race. And you can probably just forgive it there. Look, it can get off the gate fast enough to put itself in the fight. And therefore, I reckon it'll be a great each way value, the 5. Over the Dominator, Gemma Thornley, claiming junior driver, gets into the race beautifully. We know how much he loves the mobile. Gemma probably won't have a choice. This horse will take its hook and probably head forward, and if it gets the front, it'll take some catching. Phoebe Imperial's the interesting runner. Now, of course, these days with Bob Butt, and has trialled nicely leading into this, including beating Show Me the Grey at its most recent trial, and Miss Craze is in very, very good form. Good race, 5, 9, 7, and 8, race number 9.
Race number 10 is the Myco Plumbing and Bathrooms Mobile Pace. They're doing 3 races on the night, so massive supporters of Plumbers Night. 2,600 metre mobile at 9:25.
Yeah, first class was just too good for them last time. Gets into the same race with that junior driver penalty-free win. can't see any reason why it won't win again. Winegum's come up with a better barrier draw. Just worked a bit hard to get the lead last time and was vulnerable late in the race, won by Arabian Blue. Smithy's Terror had absolutely no luck. Horrible watch if you're on. That was in behind Serious Moonlight. Yeah, if it gets any luck this week, it'll take a power of beating and all by myself. Slightly disappointing behind Sweet Bell last time. Led early, took a trail. I thought it should have probably won up the passing lane, but wasn't able to do so. Managed to forgive it that. And then you've got Franco Hoffman and Sounds of Cash both racing really well. Again, it's a good race, race number 10, but I'll go with the one first class.
Last race on the card, race 11, First Direct Taxis, our taxi partner here at Addington Raceway. Mobile pace 2600 at 9.50.
Yeah, tricky race. 1, 2, 5, and 3 my numbers. Peyton's Rock from the inside. John Dunn, Tom Baggery give that a really good chance. The fourth behind Morrissey was excellent, so I'm happy to be on it. Barnstorm has got a good draw. Very consistent horse, trained by Dean Taylor. Get Back's had no luck lately and gets into the right race here. This is a 35 to 43, so should be competitive in this. And Songbird's the interesting runner, again from the Mark Jones barn. Would probably win this if the right Songbird turned up. So don't leave it off your quaddie pick 6 type tickets. 1, 2, 5, and 3. And the last mention, the best bets, David Niven is definitely the best bet, and he goes around in race number 1. And on Sunday, it's a good program, 9 races, so 20 here at Addington for the week. Sports Babe should win the first. And the present maker, talked about Albizia going back to back. Couldn't have been more impressive, the present maker. It definitely didn't have the earplugs out when it won on debut a couple of weeks ago. So it can win. It's a really smart horse for the best. Looking forward to that one on Sunday.
Look for both days and every race day here at Addington, either their Addington Facebook page or addington.co.nz. As many harness links and racing punting information links as we can find, plus selections, so everything you need for the race meetings each night or on the Sundays. We're going to leave you with DD's Super Stuart, grabbing its first win last Sunday here, extremely popular for the man they know as Red, Jeremy
Markham,
Markham, I should say, Jeremy Markham, driven by his father, Carl. The whole family involved. I know Lynn Markham does a lot of work with the horse, and Jeremy's looking after it over this period of time while some work's been done on the Methven track. Unfortunate that Jeremy couldn't be here. He's away with the national bowls and doing very well there. He's an accomplished bowler. So a shame that he couldn't be here to register his first win on course. But I know they celebrated in the winning owners bar after the last. Look, yep. we were rapt to see them win. The whole family's involved in harness racing. They do a lot of volunteer work for the Methven Club. Matt's been involved, obviously, as a journalist. Jeremy's worked here at Addington. Stacey's involved with Woodland Stud. Her husband, of course, involved with the Stonewall team now. Look, it's just a massive family operation. And really,
I'll tell you what, Darrin, I like the colours too. They stood out. They looked really good, and they stood out for another reason. Carl Markham, beautifully handled, never went near the fence. This horse needs room, never looked like getting beaten, and yeah, absolutely thrilled for them all.
So look, we'll leave you with that on the way out. Great fun watching people get excited and win a race, and there was no more excitement than DD Super Stuart. We'll see you either on Friday or Sunday or both.
Peels, then Lorena Del Sur and Moon's Way. Prince Rainier for home, a length in front. Wide out, DD Super Stuart running on. DD Super Stuart quickly claimed Prince Rainier and raced away. DD Super Stuart inside the 100, put paid to Prince Rainier, then Lorena Del Sur and Moon's Way. But DD Super Stuart and Carl Markham won it by 3 lengths on Prince Rainier. Lorena Del Sur ran third from Moon's Way. Then came Naughty Bourbon